We left off 275. We just did the mechaber. Kamen Eres Madlik, right? How many candles do you light on Chanukah? Balayla Rishon Madlik Echod. First night you light one candle. Mikan ve'elech. Most of Holech you add. Echod b'cholaylo. You add one candle every night. At Shabbalayla Achron. Until the last night. When you come to the last night, you Shmona. You're gonna have 8 candles. Vafilim Rabim b'nei Abayis lo yidliku yoser. The position of mechaber is even if you have multiple people in the house, you only light one set of candles for the whole household. That's the shittas of mechaber. Hago, the Ramos says, v'yeshomrim kol echad b'nei Abayis yadlik. Each member in the household should light his own set of candles. V'chein hamidik poshut. That's the midig Ashkenaz. Even though it's the Rambam, but that was the Rambam's position also. No, because the Rambam himself brings minig svorat. It says the two minhagim, but he says the correct minig is each person should light his own set of candles. V'yizoro litein kol echad ve'echad neirosov b'mokem yuchad. Each person put his own set of candles in its own location. Heker kamen neiros madlikin. Everybody lights the same candles. If you don't have a menorah and you just melt it to a tray or to the windowsill, so what happens? You have multiple candles. You don't know what night you're holding. Because you have that many people lighting. So if you have that situation, each person should light in his own location, so you have you're able to identify the number of candles. Mishna Berura. Mikan ve'elech beis. V'me'en yodo maseg rak ner echad b'chol layla. Now he has a choice. Let's say the second night he's able to light 2, but if he lights 2 the second night, he's not going to have enough to light, let's say, the subsequent night. Every night you light 1. Lo lebeso, yotzo bozer, midina. That's the base halacha. 1 candle per night, nothing more than that. V'shiur de Shulchan Aruch rak l'mishiyodo masex l'shmahadin mahadrin. If you're able to do better, that's mahadrin and mahadrin. You add a candle per night. Kedisa b'Gemara, ech b'cholaylo, v'myeshlo tisha neiros. Okay, he has 9 candles. Yadlik below sheni shtei neiros. Right, you have an extra candle, so the second night you're able to indicate you have 2, because like this, and you'll be yotze every night, every subsequent night, the base obligation. You have 1 extra. So if you have 1 extra, once you use that extra one on the second night, of course, at least the second night you'll do mahadrim and the mahadrim. You'll indicate you'll have 2 candles. Right? Vim yeshlo asora neiros, aval as the 4th night and the 5th night. Exactly. Vim yeshlo asora neiros. What happens if he has 10? He has 10 candles. Aval pikein lo yadlik rak b'leil sheni shtayim. Right? You light 2 on the second. What do you do with the extra? So you have an extra one. You can't use it. V'leil shlish lo yadlik shtayim. The 3rd night you can't light 2 because it's the 3rd night. Correct? Raka. No, because again, it's the same idea, because it's mitzvah b'liot al tach nitzeno. So the second night comes before, so therefore the second night you have 2. I mean, what does the 3rd night have any greater value than the second night? Right? Either you can do mahadrim and mahadrim on the 3rd night, you can do mahadrim and mahadrim on the second night. So if the first opportunity is the second, you do it on the second night. So you'll have the extra candle. 1 second. Achi b'leil achron, u'mishein lo shemen harbeg, yitim be'echot shemen kishir v'amos yichalik l'kulam. Person doesn't have enormous excess oil. He says, yitim be'echot shemen kishir. One of the candles should have the minimum, which has to burn half an hour after nightfall. Right? V'amos yichalik l'kulam. And the other candles, you'll have less. It's not going to burn the amount. But what do you have to lose? You're not losing anything. So it'll burn less. So at least to some degree, you're indicating the additional nights. 1 second. Because if you're going to distribute the oil among all 8, none of the candles are going to burn a half an hour. Right? So then what? You're not yotzei even at the base level. Lo yadlik, afil echot kashir. So if that's the case, one doesn't even have 1 night burning sufficiently. Because you have to have minimally 1 candle burning a half an hour. So if you distribute the oil among all 8 receptacles, none of the candles, none of the lights are going to burn half an hour. So the first one, you put enough to burn a half an hour, and the others to burn even 5 minutes, although you're not yotzei the mitzvah, but at least it has a semblance that you're identifying the additional nights. No, we're talking without a Shabbos. No Shabbos. No Shabbos. What do you want to ask? Okay, good. Let's say a person has enough oil for all 8 nights. He has enough oil. Right, we discussed this yesterday a little bit. And his friend has nothing. His neighbor needs oil. He has nothing. You have enough for all 8 nights, so you really don't have extra. Or maybe that is called extra. Because, of course, you'll either be yotzei mahadrim, and your friend won't be yotzei at all, or you'll be yotzei the base mitzvah, and you give the oil, so your friend should be able to be yotzei the base mitzvah. It's better, you should light just one every night, and the other oil give to the other person. Because to be yotzei the lighting of candles, one sufficient. That's only if the other person is not part of the household. Or it's not somebody you support. He doesn't eat on your table. Better. Even though the Ramos says the minig is everybody lights his own set of candles, but if you distribute among the whole family, everybody only lights one. But if you have one set of person representing the whole family, then you can have mahadrim and mahadrim. In that case, it's better to do the mahadrim than to follow the position of the Ramah. Because even the Ramah, it's really, that's like a mahadrim and mahadrim, that's really doing mahadrim. Exactly. Pashas, that's understood. There's such sacrifice. Because people see it as such sacrifice, that's the reason why that's why they don't do it. People make weddings that cost fortunes of money, and they would rather make a regular wedding and sponsor many other. That's something else. That's something else. That's different. That's different. It's not. With the wedding, it's something else. They'll make elaborate weddings so you provide for others. Factually, the poor people are going to make weddings. They'll make it with difficulty. Revus means you're not going to be yotzei a mitzvah. It's a whole different concept. If I don't share my oil with the other person, the person's not going to be yotzei his mitzvah Chanukah. So therefore, you take of your oil, give it to him. You'll be yotzei, you'll both be yotzei. So you won't be yotzei in a more elaborate way. It's fine. It's not a problem. Good question. Harvey, you hear the question? It's actually a good question. Okay, if you have to speak at Mincha, you have to hear the question. Okay, I'll repeat the question. I mean, it should either be an obligation or not an obligation. It should be up to the person. We're not saying this hiddur mitzvah. Hiddur mitzvah is by every mitzvah, to do it more elaborately, right? So that's Alan's question. Alan, repeat it again. Here they legislated it within a context. They legislated mahadrim and mahadrim. Every hiddur mitzvah is up to each individual. You want to do better, do it better. You want to do it less, do it less. Right? Here, they legislated. There's the base mitzvah, and then there's the advanced mitzvah. There's a question what Ner Ishu Beisa means. There's a question what Ner Ishu Beisa means. Ner Ishu Beisa means could be one set of candles for the whole family. That's Ner Ishu Beisa. No, sir. So now, there's a famous question they ask. Now, it says the oil was contaminated. At what level was it contaminated? It was only rabbinical contamination. So what do we need a miracle for? Right? But Hashem performed the miracle because they themselves kept a rabbinic fence. As a result of them keeping a rabbinic fence, Hashem performed the miracle. Because a non-Jew doesn't contaminate, right? But yet, rabbinically, it was contaminated. So there, as a result of that, so what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do for us? That it burnt 8 nights. It really wasn't necessary. You had enough oil to burn. But because they retained the fence by maintaining that even the non-Jew contaminates, Hashem says, I will perform the miracle on your behalf. So really, it really wasn't necessary. The miracle wasn't necessary. But because we went the extra mile, Hashem says, I'll go endlessly more for you to perform the miracle. So therefore, the whole miracle, the whole mitzvah, manifests itself in a mahajim and a mahajim. It was legislated within that context. That's the way I understand it. He went more than an extra mile. Okay? They wouldn't appreciate it. So this confirmed what the real miracle was. That was the eye-opener. No, let's say they would. They said, look, we have no other oil. It's only rabbinical. It's a question of keeping the Oraisa or not keeping the Oraisa. We'll suspend the rabbinic. It's a rabbinic stricture over here. There's no such thing as a non-Jew contaminating anything. So they had plenty of oil. So what if the seal was broken? It's not a problem. The Greeks intentionally broke every seal and put their finger into the oil to contaminate it. So what? It's only rabbinical. It's a question, either you do the mitzvah or you're not doing the mitzvah. Okay? Yeshmona. By the 8th night, you have 8 candles. V'mashemen hu biyoker. What about, oil is expensive. It's costly. What happens if the oil is costly? So the hitter is what using olive oil, because the miracle in the base of Mikdash took place with olive oil. Using a candle is not the most hiddudik way to do the mitzvah with candles, right? The Mashem would be mutav ladlik ner shavo. Now you have all kinds of candles. You have wax candles like beeswax, so you could have tallow. It's not the same. He should light with wax. Lios mosav holet kmoshkosu bifnim mimasher yadlik b'shem et zayis ner echad cholaylo levod. Lo yadliku yoser. So the Mechaber says, even if you have multiple people in the family, you should only light one set of candles. You should not light more than one set. This is why husband and wife, right? A wife doesn't light her own set of candles, because you see the husband and wife as one unit. Even according to Minig Ashkenaz, right? The wife doesn't light separate. If the husband's not home, the wife does light. A woman's a widow, a divorcee, single, she lights her own set of candles. But if she's married, she doesn't light her own set of candles. So the family, according to the Mechaber, that it's one household. It's a set per household. Afilu bonav hagdolim shorsov kevin shem smuchen al shulchano v'kfiyus hem b'chlal b'nei beiso. But let's say you'd have a guest for Shabbos, even according to the Mechaber, or somebody staying over, he lights his own set of candles because he's a guest. He's not part of the family. He says, the Ramo says everybody should light their own set except for his wife, because we see her and the husband as one entity. It's not a lechatchila. It's like Shabbos candles. Shabbos candles is something else. Shabbos candles is for illumination. Right? So therefore, those candles are my candles. Here you should have your own set of candles to identify the person. I mean, we do rely on that. I mean, when I was in yeshiva, it was always a question of it was like almost like it was it wasn't exactly the Mechaber, it wasn't the Ramo either. Each Bocher in Yeshiva gave some money that he should have a share in the candles. That's what we did. So the question is, if we're all part of the same group, you don't have to give anything, right? Like with Samachal Shulchan, we eat in the same dining room, we eat of the same food. So it's one family, so you don't have to participate. What children have to participate, right? You don't. He says even if you're adults, you don't have to participate. You're part of the family. Until Hanukkah, right? But he says no, even for Hanukkah, according to the Mechaber, according to the Mechaber, right? You don't have to participate. Ramos says no. Everybody should light his own candles. But yet, because it was a question of the fire, if you have too many people, you have hundreds of people lighting Hanukkah lights, it's inevitable you're going to have a fire. So they said, we light in two places, the Beis Medrash and the dining room, nowhere else. Nobody's permitted to light in their dormitory rooms. No, so the Shlich Tzibur, everybody was there. No. So, well, there's only one lighting. It's one lighting, right? So you have Shemei Koneh, and you answer. Answer Rami. That's the way we did it. But everybody would put whatever it was, a quarter in the, in the box, and you had a share in it. But it really wasn't necessary. No, that's the Mechaber. It's Shulchan Aruch. That's the Shulchan Aruch. Ramos says, no, each person should light his own set. Each person should light his own set, even if you're all a part of the same household. Even a woman. Even a woman. The wife, we say the wife and the husband is the same entity. Then the wife should light. No, the husband has to light where he is, too. No, because... Yeah, if he's not in a location where he could light, he's yotzi with it. Let's say he's traveling, right? But let's say he's in a hotel. So then he has an obligation. Yeah, he's in a location. He's in a residence. There's a window. It's his window, right? But if you're traveling, you can't light, right? You're in transit. You can't light. So then your wife lights at home on your behalf. Separate discussion. It's a whole different discussion. That's a question in the shir. When you light, you have to have a shir of what? Yeshom kol echod levad b'ishto. Yadlik hayde komoshkos leosif beis. The Yosef v'holech nerechud b'cholaylo v'im ein yodu maseges kol kach yadlik nerechud b'cholaylo. Okay? To be continued.